Okay, enough Starfinder for one, but until Starfinder gets officially requested. We'll deal with it then. My name is Tommy. Welcome back to another episode of Faction Fridays, guys. Let's go back to a little sword and sorcery. Or, in this case, more just sword and sword, as today, boom, Mr. Kien Dice requests we crack open our copy of The Adventurer's Guide. Let's talk about the Aldori Swordlords. Yeah, those guys in Kingmaker with the not quite scimitar, not quite katana type sword thing. Yeah, that's what we're about today. Remember, if you like what you're seeing, to like, subscribe, and ding that bell, because then you get to watch me punch things. That's fun. And your requests go down there. Today, this episode of Faction Fridays was brought to you in part by the Inn of Planar Crossroads. Thanks for your help, guys. Actually, can you guys, real quick, can you drift on over to this card right up here? They're 8 subscribers away-ish, I think, from 500. Can we help them out? Little signal boost for my friends, my very first patron, who wasn't related to me or who I knew in real life. I'm rambling. Let's hit it. Okay, so every culture, everywhere, has some degree of, famous, fancy sword masters kind of trope, right? The Jedi, the samurai, every anime forever. Yeah, that's the idea. Take the sword, get real good at it. And that is what the Aldori Swordlords have done. These guys are masters of a centuries-old dueling tradition centered around a use of an exotic blade. This combat style was born in the southern reaches of the nation of Brevoy.
What's the Brevoy?
Follow this card right up here. I think I pronounced it Brevoy there. Whatever. Moving forward, where the free city of Restov serves as the group's headquarters. To the Swordlords, maintaining one's honor is as important as feeding one's family, and few exemplify this belief as ardently as the organization's founder. Weird, given that the organization is of true neutral alignment. I would have thought LN or LG. Anyway, once upon a time, in 3035 AR, the ruler of southern Brevoy, Baron Syrian, fled his realm in humiliation after he was beaten in a duel with a bandit lord. Syrian returned from this self-imposed exile 9 years later, bearing the name Syrian Aldori. Displaying incredibly super awesome new sword powers, he defeated the bandit lord in a rematch with shocking speed and ease, and thus reclaimed rule of his lands. After this, Syrian issued an open challenge. If anyone could defeat him in a duel, they'd get 100,000 gold coins. Yeah, that's how you know that this guy was cheating when he, beat the crap out of a bandit lord. Because he has all that gold to throw around, clearly his stuff is just super enchanted, right? Yeah, of course. Thousands answered this challenge. Money talks. The power creep is real, but they were all defeated. And that secured Syrian's reputation as one of the greatest swordsmen of the Inner Sea region. He initially didn't want to teach anybody his art, but as he grew older, he realized it would be a crime to take his skills to the grave. He taught others, but in return he required them all to change their names to Aldori, as they took what is known as the Sword Pact, and to swear an oath not to reveal anything of the pact to the uninitiated. When Syrian died, his students carried on his traditions, and boom, Aldori Swordlords. Of course, as we do, over the centuries, members have succumbed to bribes, threats, and various temptations, so the secrets of the Aldori are pretty spread throughout the Inner Sea region. Nevertheless, the Swordlords remain a potent force in southern Brevoy, where they continue to teach Syrian Aldori's techniques and still require aspirants to take up the name. In recent years, they've come under pressure from more than just rival duelists, because, what do you do when you're one of the most famous swordsmen in Galarian, right? You duel others who are famous swordsmen to prove you are the very best.
I wanna be the very best.
Anywho, King Regent Naleski Surtova has repeatedly attempted to recruit Swordlords to serve as enforcers. So far, he's accepted their repeated refusals with polite grace, but it's an open secret that the Aldori have earned the ire of the Dragon Scale Throne. Agents of the Surtova are rumored to disguise themselves as Aldori aspirants and wield stolen techniques, which of course has further strained relations. But what if you want to join them? You, yes you! You could be one of these world famous sword masters. You just need dazzling display, exotic weapon proficiency, and weapon focus with the Aldori dueling sword and weapon finesse. Grab 3 ranks in acrobatics, sense motive, knowledge and ability, 5 ranks in intimidate, boom, you're an Aldori Swordlord. Out the gate, you get dex to damage with an Aldori dueling sword, so long as you're not wielding anything else or a shield, or like you got claw hands. You get quick draw as a bonus feat, you get bonus on intimidate checks, you get dodge bonuses, but the real fun thing these guys get is Shatter Confidence, which lets you attempt an intimidate check to demoralize as a swift action after a confirmed crit, or if you succeed at a disarm, reposition, or sunder combat maneuver with your sword. If your target's already shaken, the Swordlord can attempt an intimidate check to demoralize as a swift action. If you succeed, the target is stripped of any morale bonuses. Are you a barbarian? Yeah, you're not raging, though you're not fatigued. It's just suppressed for a number of rounds equal to the Aldori Swordlord's class level, which probably is the whole encounter, given how Pathfinder works. Eventually, this will strip competence and insight bonuses as well. You're a debuff marshal. Not bad. But what if you don't want to commit to the prestige class? Well, there's about 1 billion feats, style or otherwise, where you can cheat knowing things. But we got a couple of archetypes as well. The Aldori Defender Fighter can do damage when disarming, ignores penalties on attacks from fighting defensively, and buffs their dodge bonus. Gains a +1 shield bonus when they full attack. This goes up as you level. And you knew the Swashbuckler had to be involved at some point with these guys, right? The Rosslyn Bravo gains a boatload of new deeds. Dazzling display for free, which is real nice if you're trying to prestige into the Aldori Swordlord. Fainting as a swift action. A free pseudo haste, which actually seems to stack. Look at that. Dragon's Rage at 11th level. The Rosslyn Bravo can cast Aside Restraint in favor of a blindingly fast assault of unpredictable strikes. Inspired in part by dragons. Once per round as part of a full attack, the Bravo can spend a panache point to make an additional attack at her highest attack bonus. If she reduces a creature to 0 or fewer hit points with this additional attack, she gets 2 panache points rather than 1. No language there about how like Flurry of Blows doesn't stack with haste or speed doesn't stack with haste. Yeah, there you go. Want an extra attack? That's how you get it. I guess it's also relevant to note what we are attacking with, huh? Yeah. It's one of the things I like the least about the Aldori Swordlords, because the Aldori Dueling Sword, a one-handed exotic melee weapon, does a d8 of slashing damage with a crit range of 19 to 20 times 2. It can be used as a longsword. If you have exotic weapon proficiency, you can use the weapon finesse feat to use dex instead of strength, even though it's not a light weapon, and you can apply strength and a half if you hold it two-handed, but that just doesn't feel like an exotic weapon to me. That's probably because it's been around for a lot longer than, say, like, the Butchering Axe. But that's a different story about really broken weapons. Anyway, playing or GMing for an Aldori Swordlord, or as an Aldori Swordlord, is a one-way ticket to the Pathfinder Kingmaker Adventure Path, or CRPG. Frankly, I think I like the Duelist a little better. The ability to get an attack when they attack is really strong, but stripping away basically every kind of bonus you can get isn't bad. Helps level out the playing field, you know? Barbarian coming at you with too much strength, reduce that number just a little bit. So I suppose I would play this if I knew I was going to fight bards, barbarians, anybody that gives a bonus on anything. Hilariously enough, eventually that will beat True Strike as well. Ripping someone's insight bonus out rips away their True Strike. In any case, bringing the Aldori into your game is real easy to do. Need a faction of Swordmasters? Boom, right there. We got them in-house. And it works a little better, I guess, for the notion of, we are very honorable, yet we're true neutral, actually, in that regard, because, like, that means you probably associate with a lot of different alignments. Lawful neutral, like the Jedi. Neutral evil, like the Sith. Maybe I just want to play a Star Wars game. Don't you judge me. I like Star Wars. Star Wars is sweet, but that's all the time we have for today. What do you guys think about the Aldori? Have we joined one of their fancy sword mastery schools? Have we taken that prestige class? Did we side with them in Kingmaker? Without spoilers, in the comments it goes. And thank you guys so much for watching the next episode of Faction Fridays, which presently has no request. Quick, make a request! Drops next Friday.